Have you ever pondered why a righteous man like Job suffered such immense misfortunes? In the ancient land of Uz, there lived a man named Job, a man of unrivaled prosperity and boundless joy. Job was known far and wide for his integrity and devout nature. His life was a testament to the rewards of righteousness, a beacon of virtue in an otherwise tumultuous world. Job was a man of substance, owning thousands of sheep, camels, oxen, and donkeys, and employing a vast number of servants. His wealth was not just measured in material possessions, but also in the love of his 7 sons and 3 daughters. His family, a harmonious blend of love and respect, was his most prized possession. But Job's prosperity was not a result of greed or ruthless ambition. Instead, it was the fruit of his unwavering piety. His faith in the divine was as vast as his herds, as strong as his health, as deep as his love for his family. He was a man who feared God and shunned evil, a man whose righteousness was as evident as the morning sun. This man of God was not just a follower of divine laws, but a living embodiment of them. He offered sacrifices daily, not just for himself but for his children, fearing that they might have sinned inadvertently. Job was a beacon of faith, his life a constant prayer, his actions an offering of love to the divine. But his virtuous life, filled with prosperity and happiness, was not to last. The tide of fortune, as unpredictable as it is relentless, was about to turn. A man who had lived a life of righteousness was about to face trials and tribulations that would make even the strongest among us quiver. And so, our story takes a sinister turn. A man of impeccable virtue, Job was about to face the inexplicable wrath of fate. His life, once a testament to the rewards of piety, was about to become a testament to the mystery of suffering, but as we'll soon learn, darkness lurked around the corner for our virtuous Job. Opening. What if we told you that Job's sufferings were the result of a celestial wager? In the celestial realms, a conversation of cosmic significance was taking place. God, the creator of all things, was holding court with his heavenly beings, and among them was Satan. Now Satan, ever the adversary, was roaming the earth seeking those he might sway from their faith. God pointed out Job, a man of unmatched piety, a beacon of faithfulness and integrity, as an example of human devotion. He was a man who feared God and shunned evil, a man unrivaled in his righteousness. But Satan, ever the cynic, challenged this notion. He proposed a wager, a celestial bet if you will. He argued that Job was only righteous because God had blessed him abundantly. Satan suggested, does Job fear God for nothing? He claimed that Job's faith was conditional, dependent on his prosperity and well-being. In an unexpected move, God accepted Satan's challenge. He gave Satan the freedom to test Job, to strip him of his wealth and well-being. But there was one condition: Job's life was to be spared. This was not a decision made lightly, but a profound demonstration of God's belief in Job's unwavering faith. This celestial agreement, this divine wager, was a pivotal moment in the narrative. It was more than just a bet. It was a test of faith, a trial of devotion. The stage was set, the celestial players had made their moves, and Job, the unsuspecting protagonist, was about to be cast into a series of trials and tribulations, the likes of which few could imagine. The tension was palpable, the stakes were high, and the heavens watched as the drama was about to unfold. This was not just about Job, it was a question of human faith and resilience in the face of adversity. Closing. And so, the stage was set for a series of calamities that would befall our protagonist. Imagine losing everything you hold dear in a blink of an eye. Picture yourself in the shoes of Job, a man of vast wealth and a loving family, suddenly stripped of all his earthly possessions and joys. The first calamity struck like a bolt from the blue. Raiders, as swift and ruthless as a desert wind, descended upon Job's herd of donkeys and oxen. They seized all they could, leaving nothing but dust and despair in their wake. In one fell swoop, Job's wealth, painstakingly built over years, was reduced to nothing. But the heavens had only just begun to unleash their fury. A monstrous fire, as though flung directly from the sky, consumed Job's sheep and the shepherds tending them. Thousands of sheep, once a symbol of Job's prosperity, were reduced to ashes in a matter of moments. Then came the most crushing blow of all, the loss of his 10 children. A mighty wind, wild and uncontrollable, brought down the house where they were feasting. In its cruel wake it left nothing but the cold silence of death. His sons, his daughters, the apples of his eye, were taken from him, leaving an emptiness that no earthly wealth could fill. And yet, the trials of Job were far from over. Stripped of his wealth and bereft of his children, he was then inflicted with a dreadful disease. His body, once strong and healthy, was now covered in painful sores from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. The pain was relentless, a constant reminder of his fall from grace. Each calamity was more devastating than the last, leaving Job in a state of utter despair. His wealth, his children, his health, everything was taken away, leaving him alone with his pain and sorrow. In the face of such adversity, how did Job react? Did he curse God as Satan predicted? In the midst of his trials, Job's faith was put to the ultimate test. Amid all the calamities that befell him, Job found himself on a razor's edge, grappling with the most profound questions of faith and existence. The loss of his wealth and the tragic demise of his children were enough to shake any man to his core. But Job was no ordinary man. His reaction to his sufferings was one of remarkable resilience and steadfast faith. He mourned, yes, but he refused to curse God, refused to let bitterness seep into his soul. Picture a man in the depths of despair, yet he utters these profound words, "The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away, blessed be the name of the Lord." These words echo through the ages, a testament to Job's unshakable faith. They are a declaration of acceptance, of surrender to the divine will, a recognition that all we have is ultimately not ours, but God's. But it wasn't easy. Job wrestled with his circumstances, struggled to make sense of his suffering. He questioned, yes, but he did not doubt. He sought to understand, not to challenge God's wisdom. It was a struggle that took him to the very depths of his soul, a journey that revealed the strength of his faith. His friends came to him, offering explanations, suggesting that his sufferings were a punishment for some hidden sin. But Job knew his own heart. He knew his faith was true, his conscience clear. He rejected their accusations, held firm to his integrity, and continued to trust in God, even when the world around him crumbled. His reaction was not one of rebellion, but of humility. He did not claim to understand the ways of the divine, but he chose to trust, to believe, and to continue worshiping God, even in the midst of his pain. But the story doesn't end here. Job's trials were far from over. The path ahead was still fraught with challenges, but Job's faith, his courage, his unwavering trust in God were about to be tested even further. After enduring immense suffering, was there any redemption for Job? The book of Job reaches its climax in a profound tale of restoration. Job, having persevered through his immense trials, is met with a divine turnaround. His story doesn't end in despair, but rather in hope and restoration. In the face of adversity, Job's unwavering faith is rewarded, and he is blessed with twice as much as he had before his trials. In the aftermath of his sufferings, Job is given twice the wealth he previously possessed. He becomes the owner of 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 female donkeys. Job's family too is restored. He is blessed with 7 sons and 3 daughters, the latter of whom are described as the most beautiful women in the land. Job's story is not only one of restoration, but also of longevity. After his trials, Job lives for another 140 years, witnessing the lineage of his sons and his grandsons to the 4th generation. His life, marked by profound suffering and astounding restoration, serves as a testament to the power of faith and the promise of divine justice. In the face of immense adversity, Job never loses faith. His story serves as a beacon for all who face trials and tribulations, a reminder that even in our darkest hours, faith can light the way. Job teaches us that perseverance is not about the absence of doubt or fear, but the choice to remain steadfast, to hold on to hope even when all seems lost. Job's story underscores the importance of faith and resilience, reminding us that trials are not a punishment, but an opportunity for growth. His restoration demonstrates that divine justice may not always come in the form we expect, but it does come for those who hold fast to their faith. In the end, Job's story is one of faith, resilience, and divine justice.